Apparently, I had a gift for making DB angry. He was always saying, "Don't piss me off," or "You're just trying to piss me off." The thing was, I wasn't what was pissing him off. He was already pissed off and looking for a fight. Then he would go into a rage, get violent, and be unapologetic about it. He claimed that I pushed his buttons. I remember DB being very unpredictable. When I'd anticipate him being angry, he'd be like, "Meh, whatever." Anger seemed to come unpredictably and out of nowhere. Fights would be picked when we were supposed to be relaxing and having fun, such as special occasions and vacations, or when I'd get home from working a 12-hour shift. But what I've observed is that when I had succeeded in not caring anymore, he had remarkable control over his behavior. The first time I had observed this, I had been out of the house for several weeks. I had told him I was seeing someone else, and he left the room, went outside for a couple of moments, and then came back in. We actually had a discussion, because he wanted something. He knew I was serious about not wanting to be with him anymore. When I moved back in, he was better. Not perfect, but better. The rages and physical abuse was gone. We'd have verbal squabbles, but nothing serious. It lasted for 3 years. Then as soon as he got unhappy with his life, he unleashed his fury on me again. I had never doubted for a moment that the day could come again, so I wasn't surprised. Disappointed and angry, but not surprised. When I announced that I would be pursuing a divorce, his anger seemed to calm down, except for a small setback that prevented me from leaving on schedule. He had an accident, and I delayed my departure until he was able to take care of himself. Of course, he was an insufferable jerk the whole time. I would learn later that he didn't want me taking care of him. He wanted his girlfriend, whom I didn't know about, taking care of him. The sucky part was that all he had to do was say so. I would have been happy to step aside and let her take care of him. So I moved out, and the girlfriend came and went. During the hoovering process, I was just plain rude. I flat out told him how I felt. I did not like him. I did not want him. He wasn't as great as he thought he was. I said things that would have gotten me beaten in my former life. But he took it all in and kept coming back for more. You can be sure that if he had managed to get me back in his house, eventually he would have made me pay. And I believe that was the end-all, be-all of his game. That and getting my income back. The longer I held out, the more aggressive he became. He'd write me a love letter one day, then a hate letter the next day. He'd say how much he'd changed, then go out and do something nasty and hateful. I in no way believed that this was a coincidence. I think that it was planned because DB wanted to keep me walking on eggshells. I don't believe that he had problems controlling his temper. I think he was calculating in how he used it. He could turn it on and off and use his anger and rage as tools of control. When I was in love with him, he didn't fear repercussions, and he felt he could treat me any way he wanted to. But when I didn't love him anymore, all bets were off. He didn't know what I was going to do. So yes, he could control himself. He just decided when to. So if this is happening to you, I am so sorry. Just know that it's not anything that you are doing. You are just the object upon which the douchebag is spewing their toxic venom. I hope that not only do you find the strength and resources to leave, but I also hope that you can learn to deal with and control the chaotic tidal wave of confusing emotions that come along with it. I hope that you learn before too much damage is done that this person is not someone who deserves your pity, rather a dangerous adversary that would destroy you if given the chance. There's a story by Aesop about a farmer and a snake, and it goes like this. A farmer walked through his field one cold winter morning. On the ground lay a snake, stiff and frozen with the cold. The farmer knew how deadly the snake could be, and yet he picked it up and put it in his bosom to warm it back to life. The snake soon revived, and when it had enough strength, bit the man who had been so kind to it. The bite was deadly, and the farmer felt that he must die. As he drew his last breath, he said to those standing around, Learn from my fate not to take pity on a scoundrel. Thanks for watching. If you received value from this video, please like and subscribe. And don't let the douchebag get the better of you.